Times about the Wi-Fi. Cool. We're live at 5.
Beautiful.
What up, internets? Hold on. Gotta get this thing recording. Getting a little bonus action on the YouTube. All right, we're going. Welcome to this week's show, the Crazy Gentleman Podcast. I'm your host, Crazy Gentleman. This week's podcast is brought to you by Lexan-Moto.com for all the badass audio recording, sound, you know the deal. Concert in your fucking helmet. Yeah, you want some fucking music in your helmet? Lexan, dude, hit them up. Best in the fucking business. And punch in the code word CRAZY at checkout for 15% off. Who else are we brought to by Simbita Custom Knives. Simbita _custom_ knives on Instagram. And you can hit him up. Should have had his number all pulled up. This episode's off to a real fucking banger. Hold on, man. Let me fix some shit. This is real professional here, Chris.
Story of my life.
Yeah. Whatever, dude. Sometimes I miss Evan's number. You're not getting it this time. You know where to fucking meet him. Fucking Instagram, Simbita _custom_ knives, and SimbitaCustomKnives.com. And hit up the bump shop, backroom.com. It's the only place to get your Crazy Gentleman merch right now and support all of his other awesome vintage shit, plus his new line of coffee. Hit him up, man. Rodney's the man. And last but not least, well, no, not last but not least, but also shout out to Whiskey Eye, the producer of all this. And last but not least, the big dog sponsor, Bare Knuckle Performance, dude. The fucking FXR parts, dude. You got
Bare Knuckle Paul.
You got some bare knuckle shit?
I got some bare knuckle shit.
Yeah, dude. You guys know the deal, man. All your FXR Dyna Sportster, Bagger, Indian now. Hit him up, dude. He's got all the best parts made in America, ready to rock, ship out immediately. I don't know what more to say, dude. We're looking at some bare knuckle shit right here.
Yeah.
Some killer hardware in this garage.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Dude. We're here with Chris. I say this for all the FXR guys, but we're here with Chris, the FXR Kingpin.
Yeah.
No, dude, but yeah, seriously. I don't know. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Chris. You guys might know me off of Instagram, Suicide King Chris. Been around for a long time, I guess, comparatively. Not to some of the guys that are been doing this for forever and ever, but
we're not the OGs here, but
yeah,
you're certainly carrying the torch very nice.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an FXR guy, man, everywhere, every time, no matter what, you know. We ride FXRs, build FXRs, do FXRs, you know. Trying to do all kinds of stuff to support our community, the scene, you know. Try to get a lot of the younger dudes that are just getting in FXRs, trying to help guys out as much as I can, pass on the info. You know, I wouldn't know a quarter of the shit that I know about these bikes if it wasn't for guys before me that decided to take the time out of their day to answer my questions. You know, pre-internet, when you had to walk up to a bunch of grumpy shitheads in a crowd and ask them questions about their bikes, and they were like, You know?
Now you're a grumpy shit.
Yeah. The internet's a really friendly place now, you know? Like, you could just hit somebody up on Instagram that's, like, doing their thing or whatever, you know? And get all the answers right there. So I really, you know, always try to take the time to answer anybody's questions I can, or, you know, the best of my knowledge. Because there is a whole new contingent of guys that are, and girls, that are really into these bikes right now.
Yeah.
You know, the scene has exploded over the years, over the last couple of years especially. And I think it's getting to a point right now where it's chilling out. Like a lot of the, I want to word this correctly. A lot of like the scene jumpers and shit have they're kind of fizzling out. You know what I mean? The dudes that are in here for all the wrong reasons.
The ones that it was just a quick fad.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have that with every bike. choppers, baggers, you know. I don't want to say guys that show up for the wrong reason, because, I mean, everybody's got their reason. Who's for anybody to say what's right and what's wrong, you know?
Right.
But there's a lot of us out there who just do it because we just, you know, we love these bikes, man. It's not about making money. If you can make money, bonus, you know? But I do this as a hobby, so this isn't my life.
Yeah.
You know?
It has taken over your life, though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so we're here in this garage. I'll call it your storage garage.
Yeah.
Where all the cool stuff goes to sleep.
Yeah, secret locations.
Yeah. Top secret FXR location.
No doubt.
But yeah, dude, there's a lot of dope bikes here. Yo, when did you, I don't know where to start, but like, start with this, man. You grew up like just outside of Boston.
Yeah.
It's basically where we are now. You didn't move too far.
Nope.
We're just outside of Boston. I guess start from like where FXRs or motorcycles started for you.
Oh man.
Like, I don't know where you want to start.
So I started out on Triumphs. Mm-hmm. You know, I bought it like a $200 Triumph that was sitting under a tarp in a parking lot for years.
That's a very Boston bike to start with.
Dude, it was a 64 Bonneville, and one of my best friends on the planet, Phil Bicknell, he's Bicknell Welding. He's gave me a hand and we chopped it and cut the frame and put this crazy like 19-inch over springer on it, and I had never ridden a motorcycle in my life. So, like, we grew up...
Before you chopped it?
Yes.
Like, you chopped it and you're like, now I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like 18-inch ape hangers. It was ridiculous. But I grew up, you know, there were no dirt bikes. There were no, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have a ton growing up, you know.
Was your dad into motorcycles?
My dad wasn't around.
Oh, okay.
So it was just me, my mom, and my sister. And motorcycles was the last thing on anybody's list. So we'll say on both sides of my family, my dad's and my mom's side, nobody has ever owned a motorcycle. So this was kind of like uncharted territory, you know. And I grew up, I'm a Mopar guy, and we were into cars, and, you know, I had never had any use for bikes. So it's a funny story. I remember I took this Triumph for a ride, and, you know, we chopped it all out, and it was crazy, man. It used to, like, you could bunny hop it because the springer was so long, you know. And I came back, and I was in the driveway. I was in the moment, all right? You know, I was just, and my buddy Corey, my buddy Phil, we were like, they pulled back in. They're like, how was it? I swear to God, man, I was like, man, I was born to ride.
That's what you told them?
Dude, they still talk about it. They still bust my, I was so, like, it like moved my soul. Like, I had never experienced anything like that. Like, I never really cared about bikes. And I was like, fuck, man, this is something that I really, really want to do, you know? So we were like, at the time, we were like chopping bikes out and, you know, building these little Triumphs and all that. And, you know, it was the club guys. You know, we would watch these guys in these clubs, and they were riding these fucking bikes, you know, with like big tall risers and Sportster bars. And this was when nobody was doing that shit. Mm-hmm. And it was like goofy as fuck looking.
You're talking probably late 90s at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Early 2000s. Mm-hmm. But we had been like seeing this shit our whole lives. You know, you'd see a pack roll through, and these guys were like, what the fuck are they riding? And why are they riding them? Because like these guys ride fucking 24/7, might as well for a living. Mm-hmm. So like, what do they know that I don't know? You know what I mean? And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, fuck, man, there's got to be something to this. So again, my boy Phil, his dad was a machinist. At the time, you couldn't get anything over like a 6-inch riser.
Right.
You know, and I wanted like 10-inch risers. So I had to have his dad mill out these extensions and put these big risers. I had a 93 FXR P.
Okay. That was your first FXR?
My first FXR. And we built these risers for it and all that. And I remember everybody was like, man, because this was like prime time ape hanger territory.
Right.
Like everybody had apes on their bikes,
right.
you know? And it had Python 2 pipes on it, and they were fucking loud, and it had boxes. It was a windshield model bike. And I put these risers on, and I was like, fuck, man, this is just like where it's at. It was so comfortable, and it was awesome. It was rigid, and it went from there. It just snowballed. So we start buying, parts. And at the time, I know everybody said, oh yeah, back in the day, oh, I had a buddy who worked at a dealership and they used to throw those fairings in the dumpsters. You heard it a million times. Oh, guys, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the way it was.
Right.
Yeah, and we're talking even in the early 2000s. And I got buddies, NYC Danny D. Mm-hmm. I mean, that dude is like the OG of OGs, he's a guy that I look up to personally, mm-hmm. And he's my boy, my family, and I look at what he was doing way back when, and I'm like, oh man, I've been in this game 23 years. I've been riding FXRs, and then Danny's like, yeah, it's cool. There's a picture of me 10 years before that on an FXR, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, you got it, bro. You're the man, and he is the man, and we got whatever. I'll stay on track, but. Yeah, so we were buying Ferens. We went down to New Bedford. You know where New Bedford is?
No.
So it's a South Shore community, from Boston. We went down to this guy's house in the middle of the night, me and my buddy Phil. It's as you can tell, he's doing just about every bike I bought, everything I ever bought, Phil was he's my right-hand man. He's my guy. And we went down there and this guy wanted $100 for an RP Fairen. It was complete with everything, and we were like, fuck that. I don't want to pay $100 for this thing, So we talked the guy down to $75. Oh my God. The dude's like, oh man, he had an AK leaning against a wall and shit. The guy was all cracked out of his mind. I was like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here before we get killed. But that's, that was the scene back then, and it was awesome. But we didn't know how good we had it.
Right.
I'm looking at the pinstripe on that tank right now, and it's bothering the shit out of me. Look at the way it curves up. See it?
Yeah.
It's anyways. So, so we were doing this shit, and it was cool, and it just we really started getting into it, and then our lives went. Phil had kids early, so he was kind of out of the bike game. Mm-hmm. He had a sick Dyna that he bought off of my buddy Corey, and we had Defender bags on it and branch heads and all that. And I've been very lucky to have really good friends along the way. When I tried as hard as I could to fuck my life up, that stuck with me. And I didn't have a bike for a long time, and I had friends that had bikes, and they used to just let me take their shit, and I would almost crash it, and it was wild, man. But it was I've been very fortunate along the way to meet great people, and so I started getting on Facebook. And we had these pages, and this FXR is a California page, and that's what set everything off. It exploded FXRs for thousands of guys that had no outlet to get parts and find other riders, and
basically connected the coast.
Dude, yeah. Even East Coast guys, we didn't know. I didn't know I had a guy living 2 miles up the street who had 5 FXRs in his garage.
Right.
Until we all started getting on this, you call it a forum back then.
Right.
But there was only 600 guys, 1,000 guys. And those guys are still, to this day, some of my closest friends. We rode all over the country just to hang out with each other.
Right.
Multiple times. And that kind of exploded everything. And we developed this community, and, guys were info and parts, and, we have guys on that FXR's a Cali page, you name it, everybody's on there. Branch is on there, Steve Stores is on there, we got everybody that you could ever want to talk to about FXRs. And a lot of good guys came, and a lot of good guys have went, It wasn't always easy. You got a whole crew of guys that are all lone wolves, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody's, you know, and it's, but that got us going. And then through that, I met my friend Clinton. You know, God rest his soul. He passed away a few years ago. But he was so instrumental. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who changed my life. You know, we were in FXRs until I met him. And, you know, he believed in me. He was kind of like, I mean, to me, he was like the dad I was, you know what I mean? I always wish I had growing up.
Right.
And he was like, you know, one of my best friends. And
was he the guy who showed you your first FXR?
No.
Do you vividly remember like seeing your first FXR?
I do.
And you were like, I don't know if you were like, I need that at this time, or you just remembered.
What
was it?
I'm gonna say the question you asked me before.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I'm gonna skip on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All
right. But yes, my buddy Johnny, who owned a body shop, he's a Canadian. I only say that because he's very proud to be a Canadian.
Okay.
Johnny Lanetain. And he had a purple FXR with flames on it and RT boxes.
Okay.
And it was fucking goofy. And I loved it. And I had to have it. And we did all kinds of crazy shit to work out a deal. You know, I don't want to incriminate anybody, but, you know, I didn't have any money.
The bike got to your house.
And the bike got to my house.
Gotcha.
And we painted it. And that became, that bike was in a bunch of calendars at the time. That was my black RP. It had a white RP Ferrum with the fucking, with the black pods on it.
Okay.
Which kind of became like a signature look of RPs, you know? Nobody had really, I'm not saying I'm the fucking originator. I'm just saying there was a lot of stuff.
Cool thing yet.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So RPs was my thing. Mm-hmm. You know, I loved RPs, and it kind of became like my mission to bring these bikes, you know, to the forefront. So I started harping all the time about VIN numbers and fairing models and non-fairing models, and then I got that CHP, and it just kind of like fell into my lap, and I was like, an EK VIN? What the fuck is an EK? You know, I knew what an ED was and an EF. And I'm like, man, a California Highway Patrol bike in upstate New York? Like, what the fuck is this? But I knew I had to have it.
Right.
So we flew up there, Phil, and we went and got it, and it was nuts. Now, Clinton at the time was, like I said, he was the guy who believed in me, man. He invested in me to build these bikes. Like, I didn't have any money to buy all these bikes.
Right.
You know? And he was, I don't know, he was funding it at that time. You know, he would put up the capital to get the bikes. I would fix them, and then we would split the profit. He would get his investment back.
Right.
So we started hustling bikes. I mean, I've pushed over 70 FXRs, at least.
God damn.
Yeah, at least. I mean, we were buying them for like $4,500 and selling them for like 55, 65. Just make $1,000 bucks.
Like quickies, yeah.
Quick.
Quickies.
Everything down the street, anything that was in our area, we scooped right away. Wash them, change the oil, make sure nothing crazy was wrong with them, and move them, you know? And guys, like, the deal was there. Like, guys on the West Coast were thrilled to pay fucking $5,500 for an FXR, $6,500.
Right.
That was a slamming deal to these guys.
Yeah.
You know, we made $2,000, bike's gone to a good home, see you later, you know? And that's how, you know, the rep starts, you know, and people are like, fuck, you know, you sell a good bike, or they got something from you and they loved it. You were easy to deal with, you know? So.
Dude, what do you like more now? Because, like, I don't really get tripped up so much on, like, the models and the VINs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few here and there that really catch my eye.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I do like some of them, but really, for the most part, I like the fucking hot rod shit, like this bike and your red bike. You know, obviously we were talking your twin cam bike that's back home. That shit really is what pulls at my heartstrings.
Yeah.
But what what do you like more? Do you like more like the hot rod shit, or you still,
Yes.
or is like the VIN numbers and the models still grab you?
So I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of guys out there right now that ruined the VIN number thing for me.
Okay. Like the fad guys, you think? The guys that kind of...
No, like the nerds.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a nerd.
Yeah,
I'm an FXR nerd.
We're all FXR nerds.
Of course we are.
Yeah. I call
I'm
the FXR
talking like
Jam.
the guys that are like insufferable
Yeah.
nerding out on this shit.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh man, that's a cool rear paint job, and they're like, oh, you're fucking wrong. It's number 36 of number 34, and it didn't have the correct pinstripe, and it's like, you're being a fun sponge at that point.
Right.
Like you're coming into this conversation, and you're sucking all the fun right out of it.
Right.
I love numbers just as much as the next guy.
Okay.
And rarity and cool paint jobs but like, you got to chill out. Like it gets to a point where,
Yeah.
again, you're sucking the fun out of all of this.
I call the fun suckers, like at the jam. You
Yeah.
know, they're definitely have weeded themselves out over the years.
I agree.
I'll leave it at that.
I agree.
But I still kind of call it to a certain degree, like Star Trek convention.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guys that just take it a little too far.
It's more like Star Wars.
So-
I'm not into sci-fi too much.
I'm not either. No.
But like Star Wars is like a mix of like so many crazy characters. That's what like an FXR Jam is.
Yeah.
There's like a fat 75-year-old guy, and then there's like a 23-year-old chick on a fucking sick bike, and you're like, how the fuck did we get all these people together? Like it's the most eclectic group.
It's very weird. But I would say that like Star Trek convention is like 10% of it.
Yes.
It's not like the whole fucking thing.
Correct. So now I'm definitely more into like the hot rod part of it.
Yeah.
I've had so many stock bikes and so many like, correct this and correct that.
Right.
So it's like my Red Flame bike. When I first got a chance to build a bike like that, I jumped on it.
Was that your first like wild hot rod bike?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had like hot rod bikes, like, big motors, 6-speed, shit like that.
Right.
But that was my first,
But like head to tail, that thing is fucking...
that was my first like ball milled covers and, flames on the frame, like...
Yeah, that bike's like balling out, dude.
So the 90s stuff has always intrigued me, back to the days of the hamsters, and, I have like collections of like hamster cards.
Yeah.
Like whatever it was, Thunderstruck, or they used to come out with these decks of cards. And 90% of the shit was hamsters' bikes, and like you would see guys like, oh man, Donnie Smith and fucking Dave Perowitz. Like, I think when I first got into FXRs, that shit was kind of goofy to me because it was still like very, like I said, West Coast fluff, East Coast tough, you know? So it was kind of like we wanted everything blacked out, high and tight, thunderheaders, tough. And then as you get older, you're like, oh man, like that 90s paint job, that Perowitz's paint job is, it's fucking killer.
Yeah.
And like Dave, man, around here, fuck, Dave's an OG, I see him at the swap meet and I'm still like, it's Dave fucking Perro, it's cool, like he's just another guy, but to me, man, like
he's a fucking legend.
Yeah, he's a fucking legend. And Joe Kidd, he had the pleasure of building or helping to build an FXR with Jody and Dave, and I was just all caught up with life and my beautiful kids and my family, and I never really got a chance to get down there while he was doing it.
Right.
But like Dave has a bike night during the summer once a month or whatever it is, and I'm always like, man, I want to get that Red Flame bike and get down there and just see if he's like, tight, but
yeah, I only honestly appreciated those like Donnie Smith, Arlen Ness, Dave Perowitz, and I'll throw Jesse James in there. I think people forget Jesse James built a lot of badass hot rod FXRs in the 90s.
Yeah.
Different style than those other three guys.
Yeah, I'm not a big Jesse fan.
But he was a big FXR guy. He way different than those guys.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
I got an issue a hot rod bike from whatever, early 2000s, and Jesse had a red FXR in there that was very cool. Jesse's a very talented guy.
Super. But my point is, I only honestly appreciated all those older build bikes, that style that people just crave. I only came around in the last like couple years to them.
Yeah.
I used to think they were gay as hell back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, but nowadays I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I drool on those bikes, you know?
Which is what's cool, that like this stuff can all come back around.
Yeah,
you know? I
I'm
mean, we were buying those bikes
air.
I mean, dude, these guys probably spent, you're talking on an average between like 30 and 50 G's to build some of these bikes.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were rich guy bikes.
Polished fucking 124s, 6 speeds.
Yeah.
Fuck, you name it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Parrots
4,500. You know, and the guy's like, yeah, all right, you know, take it. You're like, what the fuck?
Dude, those guys were building those bikes for fucking athletes and celebrities, like back in the day. Like,
of course.
You know, like Hulk Hogan and like, you know, like those guys, you know, nothing against them. Like, God bless them, but like, they weren't working class, blue collar, tough guy bikes.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
They were rich guy bikes.
Which is around here why those bikes are so far and few between.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there wasn't, I mean, it's not, we're in the East Coast, we're in fucking Massachusetts, you know what I mean? Other than like the best sports teams on the planet, you know, we don't have much like, you know, big actors, shit like that. I mean, like what, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck? Get the fuck out, you know what I mean? Like,
well, anyone,
nobody's building bikes for those guys.
Correct.
You know, so everything around here on Craigslist and fucking marketplace is like a pre-87 fucking pile of shit FXR now for like $9,000, you know, because everybody's like, oh, I have an FXR, it's worth $1 million fucking dollars. You're like, oh, all right, you know, relax.
Yo, this is something I wanted to ask you too that I saved for this. When I bought my first FXR, none of my friends even knew what an FXR was.
Yeah, most guys still don't, by the way.
Right? That's true.
Most guys still don't. Go to a Harley dealer.
There was a period of time, like really up until like 2010, that like just the FXR was forgotten about, dude. It was just like, you had to like explain to people, and then you just like, dude, forget it. I'm not explaining this to you.
So that was the best time for like chicken hawks like us, because we were just like, we were in FXRs in 2010.
Yeah.
And we were just snatching them like $2,500.
Yeah.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yep.
Nobody cared, you know? And we were like, we didn't care because we weren't trying to sell them. We just wanted to buy them.
Right, just hoarding them.
Yeah, we're just like, yeah, gimme, you know? But yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's like we just get off track and just get crazy thinking about all the shit. And it's like you said, 90s FXRs and all these gangster dudes building these things, and I don't know.
They were the only guys, the real Outlaw Club guys were the only ones really who never forgot about FXRs and always set them up properly.
Right. And like the West Coast guys, like I haven't been to a West Coast Jam yet. But
I know Joe Kidd called you out on Fast Life about it.
I know, yeah. Listen, I
was laughing my ass off when he said that,
man. Joe's one of my best friends in the world. I love him, dude. I love him like a brother, and I keep every year. I promise him I'm coming out there. We set these rides up, and he's like, "Oh, Chris, I can't wait to take you on these mountain roads. We're gonna drive through redwood trees. It's gonna be fucking tight." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then every year, it's just like COVID hit.
Yeah.
And as you know, I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, Ruby and June. The fucking best thing ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Forget bikes, man. Like. Yeah, my wife Darby, the best thing ever happened to me. I never ever thought in my life I would ever be in a position to be as happy and as blessed as I am.
Yeah.
But you know, life happens, you know, and you know, I don't know. You know Chris.
Chris who?
Koutzis.
Yeah.
What about making every event? You know, it's like about being a good dad and like creating memories with your family, you know, that they're going to remember when they grow up, you know, and it just always resonated, you know, like he said that and I was like, fuck, man, you know, he is right. That's what it's about, you know, like at the end of the day, like fuck FXR events and fucking motorcycles all together. You know, I'd push every bike I have burning off of a cliff.
Yeah.
If it meant
the family,
you know, taking my kid to a soccer game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, always like to make that very clear, you know, that,
Yeah.
that my family and my wife, and you know, that's what I love and what I care about. Bikes is secondary to that. You know, it might not feel like that sometimes to my wife, you know, but I really try to keep a delicate balance where I can still be creative and still, you know, invest time in these investments,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, it's a huge time and money suck.
But there'll be, you know what, like me and Joe, we're the exact same age, you know. We're 42 years old. Knock on wood, man. When we're fucking 60 and my kids are in fucking college, we'll have plenty of
still be
time
doing it.
to
Yeah,
ride
yeah.
around the West Coast on our shitty FXRs, you know. And
Yeah.
fucking laugh about these times, you know.
Dude, so, I mean, the way you worded it and all, I'll say this, man. I never been to a West Coast Jam, but I have rocked quite a few of my FXRs all over the West Coast.
Yes.
And there is no other fucking place in the country like tearing down a fucking road with huge redwoods and shit.
Yeah,
It's fucking dope,
I know,
dude.
man.
It's fucking sick.
You know, I can't wait, you know, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just, I always feel like, you know, the East Coast Jam is like we put so much time and effort into it that for me, I'd love to go to the West Coast Jam.
Right.
And there's so many guys that I know from the West Coast, just from online and talking to on the phone. Like, I would really love to go out there. I could give a fuck about the West Coast Jam.
Right.
And I don't mean that
It's the
disrespectfully.
people. It's the people.
Yeah, it's I just want to go out there and see all these dudes that I've known for over a decade online and shake their hands and meet them in person. You know, that's what's important to me.
Dude, I would say if you asked all those West Coast cats, and I don't know all of them, but I know my fair share of them. I would say if they could pick one guy from the East Coast that they want out there, it'd probably be you. Right? I mean, think about
I appreciate that. I mean, maybe after they get to know me, they'd feel differently, but, you know, and I feel the same. I get a lot, you know, I get a lot of messages from guys out there, you know, asking me, and they're all great, man. Guys are like, fuck, man, fly out.
Yeah.
And you can ride my shit.
Bike. Yeah.
And that means a lot because, as you know, I mean, that's what we do over here. You know?
We were just talking before we recorded.
Yeah, about like fucking James Steele, man, flying in from Hawaii.
Yeah.
But dude, James is my guy, you know? I never met James before in my life.
Yeah.
And he sent me a message about coming to the East Coast Jam, and, you know, I put him on my RP, and he had the fucking time of his life, and, you know, I got a friend for the rest of my life in James.
Yeah.
He's coming back this year.
Cool, man.
You know?
Cool.
And I'm looking forward to seeing him, you know? He's such a great guy, but FXRs, I would have never met that guy if it wasn't for FXRs.
Right.
You know, they've brought so much to my life as far as like friendship and enrichment and you know, listen, I'm not going to front, like, you know, I've made some profit along the way selling bikes.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I have.
I've
you know, you got to make money somehow.
You know,
I
want to say like,
fuck, dude.
I want to quote like Tony Montana and say like, I never fucked anybody who never had it coming. But, you know.
Well, dude, dude, on that topic, I'll say this. This is a bone I have to pick with the whole motorcycle industry.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck it is about guys that are in motorcycles that, like, either are ashamed of money and success.
Don't mind that fucking 3-inch hail hitting the fucking roof right now.
The YouTube won't hear it. These mics are
good.
fucking awesome.
All right, cool.
This thing will pick it up.
All right.
But I'll just turn this thing down a little bit. But fucking, I got a bone to pick with guys that are like, they're like ashamed of like, I don't know, fucking success and money and all that. I'll be the first motherfucker to tell you, dude, I love money.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking money guy. I like money.
Me too.
I do. I'm not ashamed of it, dude. You know, like, it is what it is, man. I fucking work my ass off. I want nice shit and I want a lot of money.
So
I don't know, man.
Being on the East Coast is
it is what it is.
Yeah, well, being on the East Coast and living where we live in Massachusetts.
Just because you like money don't mean you're a fucking dickhead about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it is what it is, dude.
But the difference being is like, I'm gonna word this carefully. When it comes to your friends,
right,
the way I was always brought up and the way I was always taught is like you don't make money off your friends.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't.
No, I know you don't.
You
I'm
know,
not. Yeah, I'm not insinuating
I'm
that's what you
practically
mean.
giving bikes away.
That's what I'm
like,
saying. So like,
yeah,
you take care of you take care of your friends.
That 113 that I'm selling.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the off air because it's not like that. But dude, I've paid so much money for that bike.
Yeah.
Basically, that bike funded a fucking wedding just to like help a friend out. Like,
yeah.
Dude,
oh, you married?
No. I fucking paid for a friend's wedding.
Yeah.
And all like, dude, I don't profit off my friends.
I know what you're saying.
Line.
Yes.
I get that. But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with making a living.
There's
you
nothing
gotta
wrong.
fucking do it some way or another.
So you got guys.
The Harley dealer's certainly raping people.
You got.
I mean, come on, dude.
So you got a whole
Nobody's
different.
mad at them.
You got a whole different like set of guys in this game. You know, Joe.
Yep.
You know, Joe does this for a living.
Joe does, yeah, dude.
And
I'm not hating him for it.
no, like you got to respect it.
Fuck yeah.
But Joe's got to make his money.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
his job.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fucking union elevator mechanic. You know what I mean? I make my money in other ways. So like,
to play it and make side money.
Yeah,
that's honest.
And listen, I've sold some bikes for some big money.
Yeah.
To some guys that I'm still very friendly with. You know, sometimes I post stuff for sale. Most of my stuff I sell isn't for sale. But if a guy wants it and we can make a deal,
yeah.
You know, you're gonna pay up for it.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. I don't build bikes for people. I build bikes for me.
Right.
And if you like my bike and you want to make it yours, well, yeah, you're gonna have to come up for it.
Right.
You know. And if you don't want to,
not for sale price.
Yeah, and if you don't want to, like, and even my not for sale price, isn't insane.
I don't think I've ever seen you post anything for sale where I'm like, dude, he is ripping someone off. Like, I mean,
that's why I don't. Listen, again, I'm not going to shit on anybody that raffles bikes.
Yep.
It's kind of why I don't raffle bikes.
I know some guys get sore about it. I like raffles.
Everybody loves raffles. That's why they sell out.
Right.
So
I'm about to raffle a bike too, by the way.
So let me tell you, here's my deal on raffles.
Okay.
I'm getting comfortable here.
Bartender.
When I see you raffle a fucking $8,500 motorcycle for fucking $20,000, it burns my ass.
I feel the same way.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion, which I don't care if you don't like, because that's fine, because you're entitled to your opinion as well.
Right.
So if you think my opinion stinks, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't fault you for it, and I don't hate you for it.
So
you're fucking up the market.
Are you cool with a fair raffle? Like,
I'm cool with any raffle.
Okay.
You know, I don't buy raffle tickets.
Okay.
I buy raffle tickets for my friends that are raffling bikes.
Okay.
I have no expectation of winning their bikes.
Right.
But I want to support my friends.
Okay.
If you decide to raffle a bike, I'm going to buy a ticket.
Okay.
If I win it, God help me, because the internet will burn me down. Like, oh, this guy needs another fucking FXR in his life for $100. You fucking kidding me? Like, you know that's coming. But if you know me, which all my friends do, if you knew the amount of shit that I give away for fucking free, the info, the shit I help all my friends with, it wouldn't. I mean, I've given FXRs away for free. Thank you, brother. Chris, Quimby, Northeast.
Chris, Northeast V-Twin, dude. Shout your shit out.
Yeah. My boy.
Northeast V-Twin.
Yeah, just chilling out right here. Chilling in the podcast.
We got a studio audience.
Yeah. Sponsored by White Claw.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you say.
But dude, my gripe with raffles also is like, I personally think you should be within maximum $5,000 of the value of that bike.
But
because there are guys that raffle $8,000 bikes for $18,000. Yeah. And you're like, what the fuck?
And you don't even, like, I don't even need to call it out.
No, everyone knows.
Because you know who they are.
The fucked up part is people are still buying tickets, dude.
Because it's $100. Because people go, so what, dude? It's a bike for $100.
I can't support that. And I buy a lot of raffles.
Where's the criminality in it? If it all costs you $100, It only cost every guy $100.
But dude,
right?
Yeah, that's like.
So people say, yeah, man, the bike's $10,000 overpriced. Doesn't matter. It only cost me $100. Don't be a hater. Well, it's not. It's not the hater part. I don't hate the dude for it. I feel that the impact it has negatively on the FXR resale market is fucked, because now you take a guy who builds a bike.
Right.
Say he builds it to sell it, and he puts his heart and soul into it. He's got $1 million in this bike, and he lists it for fucking 18 G's. Right when he spent 25 on it. I know, don't even tell me you're not gonna get back what you got into it.
Right.
This is where I start getting snippy, like, yeah, man, listen, fuck off. I've forgotten more FXRs than you'll ever fucking own. Right. So don't start telling me about. Anyways, so this guy lists his bike for 18. The first 10 comments are like, raffle it, dude. Raffle it, dude.
Right.
Now the guy who might actually be thinking about buying his bike is like, why would I spend 18 G's if I can wait for this dude to raffle it and try to win it for 100?
Oh, I see. Yep.
And these bikes aren't selling. Like,
that's why I think I'm going to raffle.
You have
the one I'm going to raffle. I don't think anyone's going to come up with.
You're an FXR guy.
Bigger money. Like, you got to have a harder time selling these bigger money bikes than you do a fucking $10,000 or $12,000 bike.
No.
Really?
No.
We'll talk after the show then, and maybe you can give me some advice.
I've sold huge money bikes.
I know.
And no disrespect to anybody, I have a very good core group of guys that buy stuff off of me. Guys that do very well for themselves. They know what they want. They know they want a fucking very nice bike. And they have an expectation that they're going to receive something very close to what they desire from me or my build. I'm not a bike shop.
Right.
Dude, San Diego Customs, fucking all these big bike shops, Bare Knuckle Paul, these dudes are bike shops. They build killer shit, Boosted Brad, whatever. Those guys are fucking super talented, but they have the backing. They're, and I'm not hating on that. I'm saying, like,
it's just different. It's
but
different.
you're gonna go there and you're gonna pay 30 grand to get a bike built. You know what I mean? Like, but that's not me. I'm just building shit in my garage. I build a nice bike. I'm not trying to, like, pat myself on the back or whatever. I feel like my stuff is aesthetically pleasing, even though I just build stuff for myself the way I like it. Mm-hmm. My style is a popular style. People like my stuff, I appreciate the shit out of that. I appreciate every dude on Instagram that takes the time out of his day, her day, to leave me a comment, to be like, man, this is a killer bike. I try my damnedest to say thank you to every person, because I really fucking appreciate that. People say they're not looking for fucking, I'm losing my fucking words here. They're not looking for pats on the back. They're not looking. Of course you are. Why the fuck are you posting shit online?
To some degree, yeah. Yeah. Even guys that aren't are.
Sometimes it's a butt pat. It's a back fucking slap.
Yeah.
Guys in your community. I get geeked out when fucking Tony from Ramjet tells me fucking my bike's fucking killer. I'm like, damn, Yeah. That's fucking awesome, Or a dude that I respect, who builds killer bikes, tells me like they think my shit is killer, and I'm like, damn, man, like.
Do you think there's a ceiling though on like what? I don't know. It's hard to say what a bike is worth, like, because the higher that price goes, the smaller your market gets. The less guys that are going to stand up and lay 20 grand on the table.
I think that $30,000 is a ceiling for FXRs.
Okay. Where do you think like the market really like? Where do you think you really start losing buyers? The 15,000 mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In today's market, I think the $12,000 mark you start losing guys.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody, like, the market's fucked right now. Everything's in the tank.
Okay.
Guys that are like, have the shit and are holding on to it, Like, we're not scared. We don't care. You know, we love our stuff.
Yeah.
It's, so what? If at the end of the day I end up with 10 FXRs sitting in my garage for the rest of my life,
right.
I'm cool with that, you know? Like, I'm not panicked.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that it weeds out a lot of the stuff, you know, that all like...
Eventually it will.
Not lame stuff, but like lower end bikes for higher end money.
Gotcha.
So we always have a saying.
There was a period of time where even clapped out shit was going for way
Of course it was.
too much.
So that's the problem is everybody
crazy.
bought.
Right.
And now nobody's buying.
Right.
But here's what you need to remember. Not you personally. Good stuff will always be worth good money.
Okay.
Always.
So you think like the high, like
Big
this,
numbers.
like this bike, this white bike,
Yes.
like just the price never really falls
This bike,
off.
I've told everybody before, and I'm dead serious. Put me on this bike and bury me with it.
Really? This is the one that just will never go anywhere.
This bike saved my life. I was with gnarly Harley, Mike Perez.
Buy my engine, by the way, when I get home on fucking Monday.
My guy. We had a near-death experience on Route 81 where I did a fucking 180 on this bike at like 90 miles an hour, and I don't know how I didn't high side. It was terrifying, and I stayed up. I don't know how I stayed up. It was the worst experience I've ever had in a motorcycle, and it was on this bike. And I'll tell you what, I'm superstitious, but this bike fucking saved my... It had nothing to do with my riding skills.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that good of a rider.
Yeah.
To avoid that. It just happened, and I stayed up, and my whole life flashed before my eyes, and I thought about my kids, and I thought about my wife, and I was like, oh man. And you know, Mike's wife she was on the back of his bike. She looked like she saw a ghost. I mean, it was bad. This bike, man, this bike's never leaving me. That's it. This bike is my one bike that, you know, I love this bike. So this bike also came to me from Vancouver, Washington. I bought this off of Craigslist.
Uh-huh.
It was an import from Canada. So it had a 61 tooth pulley and a fucking kilometer speedo on it. It was kind of funky.
Damn.
I bought it.
61 tooth?
61
I've never even heard of that.
Sportster.
Oh, okay.
So for European, they consider Canada European. European export models had a 61 tooth pulley on them.
Interesting.
I don't know to like meet. I have no idea. I'm not even gonna guess.
Okay.
But I bought this bike, shipped it here, built it, sold it to a good friend of mine, Kevin, in California, who's also an avid, way below the radar, gangster FXR motorcycle car collector. And his son Devin has got a bad as fuck FXR. Like, I'm sure you've seen him online. I bought it off of Kevin. I sold it to Kevin, and then I ended up with that Indian Head RP that I plucked out of New York. That like total OG, and he wanted that, so we worked out a deal. I sent that over to him, and he sent this bike back to me. So this bike been across the country 4 times and ended up back with me again. So I don't know. I just figured it was meant to be. Yeah. And I've done. Man, we've been everywhere. Been to Alabama on this bike, Arkansas, fucking Florida, you name it. Ridden this bike all over the country. But anyways, yeah.
So I don't know how we started on that, but
yeah.
Anyways, don't offer to buy that bike.
Yeah.
Watching.
Yeah. Not happening. And that's no bullshit. That's not a like, offer me 30 racks and it's yours. No. Nope.
Right.
Nope. And my kids have decided that the red bike with the black flames
we talked about that before.
It's not moving either. No.
Yeah.
And that Chopper guy's bike. Don't even get me started on that bike. That bike's a weapon.
Dude, what about...
You're talking like maybe one of the biggest anti-twin cam guys there was.
Really?
So I'll go on record. I'll say it. It is what it is, man.
You were a twin cam hater at one time?
Oh, hater? I was the twin cam. Yo,
really?
I was the twin cam hater.
Oh, dude.
Oh, man, I busted everybody's
ass.
There's
so many twin cam FXRs here now.
I would give you A list, I'd give you 24 reasons why twin cams and FXR sucked.
Okay.
And man, I bought this bike off of, you know Randy Bryden? So Randy's a Boston guy. FXR,
but he's in California now.
FXR 1989.
I bought some, I'll tell you about it. I bought a lot of cool stuff from him.
Again, you want to talk about a gangster, OG FXR guy. He sold me that bike. He had it for a hot minute, bought it as part of a deal or whatever. Long story short, he brought it to Boston. He was here visiting. We made a deal, and that was it. That was my first twin cam FXR. 103 stage, whatever, crate motor, Screaming Eagle 6-speed. I always loved the Chopper Guys stuff. Again, shout out Chopper Guys, OGs. You know, been doing this shit forever, making this shit is superb.
Yeah,
you know?
Premium, dude.
Premium.
Yeah.
Premium. The swing arms are fucking, I got Chopper Guys
it's the coolest
swing arms
fucking
everywhere.
FXR swing arm ever made.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
For sure.
Yep. So, yeah, man, I fucked with that bike, and I mean, it's just a weapon. Just the baddest FXR I've ever owned. No doubt. No doubt. Absolutely love it.
Why did you hate the twin cam so much at first? Was it the twin cam, or you were like, I was
an Evo guy.
Okay.
You know, I still am an Evo guy. You know, twin cams have their issues. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
you got to make them right.
We went to Times Square last year after Indy and Larry. Man, that twin cam and that bike was fucking clacking. I thought I blew it up. It was so hot. I mean, it was like, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, oh, well, cool, I lost the motor, you know. I was with world-class dirtbag, Rob, also my boy. There was a whole shitload of us rode down into Times Square, the whole Saviors crew from New York. And, man, it was, pulled that bike right in the middle of fucking Times Square, like, what? I'm like, man, you only get one shot at this shit, right? Like, what are the cops gonna do, tell us to leave? They didn't give a fuck, you know. It was good. It was fun. But I've never had that shit happen to an Evo. I mean, we beat those Evos to death.
Yeah.
4,200 RPM for like days on end crossing the country, and you know, never have an issue. What, people are like, oh, my base gasket leaks.
That's the biggest issue, is they're prone to leaking.
Well, it's the mounting. It's the way the tranny mounts to the motor and the primary mounts to everything else. That's the weak spot in an Evo drivetrain.
Right.
That's why every fucking Evo has a main shaft leak, you know? That's why they created fucking Carlini torque arms.
Right.
You know? Just to keep that shift out of there. So you're doing everything you can to basically do what a twin cam already does.
Right.
So the twin cam strong point is the mount, the tranny, you know, to the primary. Yes.
Yeah.
So you have that, but the twin cam has got its weaknesses. You know, tensioners, the compensator sucks.
Yeah.
You know, these bikes, you shut off a twin cam fucking hot anywhere and get gas, good luck starting it back up.
Right.
You know, boom, fucking fires out the carburetor, kicks back.
Yeah, they got their flywheel issues.
Yeah,
they got their shit.
Yeah, don't downshift too hard getting off the fucking highway. Bam, your flywheel's just shifted.
Yeah.
Have a nice life.
Yeah, and even the ones that aren't fucked up, like you might have one of those engines that are like 20 thou out, like practically from the factory, dude, you know?
Dude, I mean, see so much of it.
Yeah, they're not perfect.
It's just,
you know,
if I could take the tranny and the primary and all that and make that Evo.
Right. Oh, yep.
I would be an Evo guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I am an Evo guy.
Okay.
But, I mean, that 113 and that red flame bike, that thing's just violent.
Yeah.
But that 103, it's fucking smooth as silk.
Right.
And it'd probably stomp a mud hole in that 113. It's like, it's fucked, you know? So this is all new for me.
Right.
And this is Joe for fucking, Joe Gerardo for fucking as long as oh my God, he was the twin cam guy. No, I'll tell you what.
No, twin cam hater.
No, fuck no.
Oh, he was a lover from the start.
Yeah, dude, he's the twin cam guy.
Yeah.
You know, credit where credit's due. Like he was doing this shit. RJ Russell, who's one of my near and dear friends, who's over here. I mean, he had a twin cam, fuck, dude, in an FXR, like, I mean,
Way back in the
anybody.
day.
Yeah, nobody was doing that shit.
Yeah.
He figured that all out, and that dude is old school as hell when it comes to twin cam FXRs. But Joe on the West Coast, yeah, man, he was the guy.
Yeah.
You know, there was probably dudes doing that shit. I know a lot of those club guys out there. They say the best part about the West Coast is the dudes that you don't see online.
Right.
Like you go to an event out there and there's just the baddest fucking FXRs and you're like, whoa, where did this come from? Because like these guys ain't online.
Yeah.
But Joe was the first dude online that was doing that shit. That was visibly twin camming these bikes. You know?
Right.
And he rode from the West Coast on a twin cam FXR. You know, it showed up at the East Coast Jam in North Carolina. Like, what up?
Did he know anyone the first time he showed up?
Yeah, he knew me. I mean, yeah, we all knew each other from the computer.
Okay.
But like, I walk up to Joe, and I mean, we had been talking for years, and people used to think we were like secretly in competition, but we were homies behind the scenes.
Right.
Like it was always a competition to see who was gonna get what bike first, you know. But we were collaborating the whole time, you know. We were like, yeah, let everybody think we're at each other's throats here, but we weren't. And I never forget, man, I walk up to him, I fucking was so excited to meet him. I give him this big ass hug and he looks straight dead in the eye and he goes, man, I thought you were gonna be a lot taller than you are. I was like, yo man, fuck you. Come on. You know, Joe's like fucking 6'4", you know?
Yeah.
Every dude I hang out with is fucking like 6 foot whatever fucking monsters. Dark Lord from fucking Florida, he's like 6'11", goddamn it. He's fucking huge. And I'm like, I take pictures with everybody. I'm like, you know, that's why I love having Danny with me, because Danny's, you know, Danny's my height. He's like a fucking cinder block though, you know?
Yeah. He's like he's built like fucking Mighty Mouse, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, he is Mighty Mouse. We call him Juice Willis, man.
Did you see his fucking little clip the other day?
How could you not, right? That guy's the best, man.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he comes up with shit like that. Just like, he's the funniest guy. He's got the best sense of humor, you know? You would look at him and think he's so serious, you know? And he is a serious guy, don't get me wrong, but like, he's just got the greatest sense of humor. He's such a good friend, man. He's such a good guy to be around, you know?
Yeah, I fucking love him, man.
Yeah. But, so, try to parlay it into this, but we got the East Coast Jam coming up.
Yeah, what's the deal, man? Is it just like business as usual? Is there anything different happening this year? Like, what's the story?
So, we got Rob, World Class Dirtbag, is very instrumental in helping out. He started the East Coast FXR Jam page.
Okay.
Rob comes through with like some very new and well thought out ideas as far as trying to bring some more organization to it. Because as you know, the East Coast Jam it's not my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's our thing. It's your thing. It's Chris's thing. It's like, it's the community's thing. You know, the Blackthorn, it wouldn't even checked it out and all that. And we were like, well, yeah, it's a fucking great spot. And we had basically got thrown out of North Carolina.
Right.
Shout out Scotty Siegel. You know, SSNY.
That's such bullshit.
Dude,
too, man.
yeah, it was, were you there for that?
I don't know if I had left or not.
He like came into the parking lot and like
weakest fucking
like locked his brake up.
Yeah,
it was a skid.
Like,
and that dude
is gay as hell that they're getting mad at that, dude. Come on.
Scotty is a straight up fucking maniac on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I've never, well, Danny took me on the biggest
There's a lot of maniacs in
hell ride through New York City that I had ever gone on. Jace from Fast Life was with us. There were a whole bunch of dudes with us. And we were like, Danny had us going through like fish markets and fucking alleys. Dude, like up on sidewalks, down bike lanes. We were like kicking trash cans out of the way. Like, you know, that dude is a fucking maniac on a motorcycle. And fucking Scotty is like, speed on or get peed on, you know, like he's just, I never ridden with anybody like him in my life, but anyways, yeah, he's So that was like the tamest shit he had ever done. And like that dude came out, that was crazy, man. He had the gun and he was all mad. He wanted to shoot everybody. And so needless to say, that was our last year at North Carolina. You know, they didn't want us there anymore.
Right.
So we had to find a spot. And the way I felt about it, like nobody kind of wanted to take the reins on it, you know? And I didn't want anybody to feel like I was trying to swoop in and say, like, oh, this is my fucking jam now. Like, because that's bullshit.
Right.
You know, like, we go to the jam and people are like, hey, thanks, man, for doing it. I'm like, hey, this isn't my thing. You don't thank me, man. Thank you. Because if you didn't show up, this ain't shit.
Yeah, it wouldn't
be
anything.
Nobody's here making money. That's why we don't do vendors.
Right.
We don't do trophies. Because it's just a meetup.
Right.
Like, we're just there to have a fucking good time and hang out with each other and shoot the shit and get drunk or fucking do drugs or whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, nobody cares. And that place, the Blackthorn, yeah, shout out to Blackthorn, man. Like, East Durham, New York. Those guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They're like,
well, it's a biker resort.
Dude, we came in there and they were like,
it's
hey,
meant for that.
Don't burn the place down.
Right.
And other than that, we could give a flying fuck what you guys do.
Yeah.
I mean,
can you imagine if
dude,
we did
the burnout video in the bar.
Yeah.
Like that big ass like 7-foot bouncer, he's like, don't fucking burn the tire on the dance floor. I'm like, yeah, of course I won't burn the tire on the dance floor. You know, I'm fucking Reverend Kevin, man. He fucking let me borrow his bike to do it. I had my RT. I was like, I can't even get it in there. You know, story of my life. And it's like, dude, it was wild. It was like one of the best moments of fucking the jam. That first year was fucking insane. And
you couldn't do any of that in North Carolina.
No.
Like,
dude, it was like 10 o'clock. They're like flashing the lights, like, go to bed. You know, guys are like, I want to do drugs and stay up all night long. And we're like, sorry, guys, you got to go in your room and do drugs. You can't like hang out here and drink beers. And, you know, we wake up out there, there's like dudes on tipped over golf carts with their nut sacks hanging out, like, and they're like, hey, that guy had a great time, you know? And like the people who own the place are just like, yeah, it's cool, man, you know? Just like tip the golf cart back over, you know? Don't harass the chicks who work at the bar. Like, so that venue has exploded for us.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
We sold out like basically the day after the jam last year. I mean, you're talking like a 99% rebook rate of guys that went.
Right.
So that's got to say something.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of talk. This year's 10 years. You know, guys were like, oh, should move it back to Maggie. You can't abandon something like what we have going on right now. You know, last year we had over 125 FXRs. 125 FXRs.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking a bike that, like, around here, people still don't know the difference between a Sportster, a Dyner, and an FXR.
Yeah.
And we get 125. And that's just FXRs. That's not including, like, the 3 buddies that came with them on Dyners and Road Glides.
Right.
So it used to be, this is going to piss people off. I don't mean any disrespect. It used to be like, FXR only. If you don't have an FXR, go fuck yourself. Don't show up. Man, fuck all that. When they have like a fun Ford weekend at the drag strip, right? Do they tell you like if you don't own a Mustang, you can't fucking show up?
Right.
And like look at the fucking cars? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
A lot of these dudes went to a jam on a fucking Dyna or a Sportster or a Road Glide and then left the gym and bought an FXR.
Yep.
Because they fucking loved it. They wanted to be part of it. They saw what was going on. They met a bunch of fucking awesome guys. They saw a bunch of shitload of killer bikes and they were like, fuck, man, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So like, who the fuck are we as a community to say like, get the fuck out of here. We don't want you here because you don't have an FXR.
Right.
Look, what if you just want to show up and hang out? What if you just like these bikes and you want to talk about them?
Right.
You know? We met some of the fucking coolest dudes there that showed up on road glides.
What if you're on your Sportster coming from across the country?
Yeah.
And the fucking FXR Jam's happening.
Didn't you dump it in the backfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, but so what about, say, like, guys didn't know you?
Right.
Like, I know you.
I think some
And
guys
you
were
showed
like,
up on
"Who
a
the fuck is
Sportster,
this?"
and they were like,
Yeah,
who the fuck is this clown?
Yeah.
And they don't know that you're a secret fucking hog and that you got a bunch of fucking FXRs at your house that are fucking class shit. And I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, you see that dude on a Sportster?
Yeah.
He's got fucking way better FXR than you. Like, he was out doing rider shit and showed up here.
Like, I was
because he still wanted to be here.
Dude.
Yeah. So, like, fuck that dumb shit, you know? Oh, we don't want these guys around because they're not on an FXR. So we tried to eliminate that. And that's a lot of messages we get about the gym is like, oh, hey, I got an FXR and I don't want to ride alone. Is it cool if my buddy on his fucking street glide comes?
Right.
No, ride alone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and you don't have to message me anyways, man. You can do, this is a free world. Do whatever the fuck you want, you know? Nobody in an FXR Jam is ever going to walk up to you and be like, oh, what are you doing here on that bike?
Right.
Like, because that's not us. And I say us because I'm including you. I'm including Chris. I'm including every guy in this.
Right.
This is our community. This isn't my show. This isn't your show. This is for everybody, man.
Dude, you know what I like doing with those guys? I like taking a guy that, like, either doesn't get the FXR thing or just never been on one and watching the first fucking ride. Like,
oh, it's amazing.
Just blowing their mind. Like,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's the best, dude.
Yeah, they get off.
You're like,
Chris
Chris for a ride.
Experienced that.
Yeah.
He had a fucking, he had a bro glide, you know, all fucking crazy. Yeah. Hey, I gotta take a piss real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, give me a second.
Chris, you want to jump in and shout out fucking Northeast V-Twin for a minute?
I'll talk about the Jam a little bit. You know, my first year experience at the Jam was different. You know, I went to the Jam and I experienced. I don't know. It changed my life.
All right.
I went home. I sold my bike. I bought an FXR. I bought an FXR frame.
So you did go on the road
on a road glide, yeah. And I was ripping through the mountains. I was ripping through the mountains with guys on 30-year-old bikes on a $50,000 bike, and I was wallowing in the corners. I had solid isolators, dude. Full RWD suspension. The bike was built, and I was wallowing. And I went home pissed, and I sold it. I bought an FXR, and I bought a frame, and I bought a bunch of parts. And now
he's got a bunch of shit in his garage that doesn't run.
Yeah, and my wife's pissed off, you know what I'm saying? But the Jam was life-changing.
So we hear that a lot, we being the whole crew of FXR guys, that the Jam was life-changing.
Yeah.
Guys went to the Jam and they were like, man, I had no idea, you know, like what we had been missing. And I feel like when we moved up to the Northeast, we grabbed a whole new, I keep using the word contingency. I love that word. Look it up. It really applies. Like this whole new contingency of guys that were just, you know, not every guy can get on their bike and ride to North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know?
Most of the guys were coming from up north, I think, anyway. You know?
We were riding 1,100 miles to get down there.
Right.
You know? And we had no time. We were doing this shit in like a day and a half. Yeah. You know? And when we moved it up here, it was like all these new faces and all the G's that have been going since the beginning. Those guys all showed up anyways. They don't give a fuck where it is. They're going to show up no matter what.
Right.
And they have. And I got so many guys that supported me in this decision. It was awesome, man. It was heartfelt, and they still show up every year. All our Ohio guys.
Yeah.
Chris and Alfred. There's just so many of them. Jeremy. Like these guys that we've put down so many miles with, and these guys are like, they're the FXR dudes, and they're so below the radar.
Yep.
You know, you never hear about these. They're not flexing on Instagram with what they got, and yeah, man, those guys they've just been great, and they're so supportive of everything, and I'm just blessed to have made friends like that through this community. You know,
Yep.
I keep saying that. I you know, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I just feel so lucky to be part of something like this, that I try my hardest to put my heart and soul into this and give back as much as I can and try to help as much as I can. And you know, I told you before this thing, like, it's all peace and love, you know?
Yeah.
Because there were a few years where everybody was, you know, at each other, and even I was, you know, bitching about this and bitching about that and prices, and, you know, and I just have a very different outlook on it now. I feel like, you know, I just want to include everybody, you know, like you say, that all inclusive, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the way I feel, you know? I feel like everybody, like, get in here, man. You know, there's plenty of room.
Yeah.
And if we don't keep this going with the younger guys, and that was a big problem in our arena, was a lot of the older dudes on FXRs were real fucking crummy, and they didn't like these young dudes coming in and fucking these bikes up, and you know, and they shunned away a lot of these guys. And how do you keep something going if you don't keep the youth interested in it? That's how this stuff gets passed on.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like, it's really required, kind of, you know.
Absolutely.
It's, you know.
Yeah, 100%, Rob. It's required.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put in the time as a guy that, you know, people might look up to or feel like you have some knowledge on this stuff. Now they're taking the time out of their day to, you know, come at you and ask you questions, and like, you gotta respect that, and take that wholeheartedly, and really try to give back and help these dudes out so that they can keep this going and help other guys out, you know? I hope to one day be able to, you know, be an old grumpy fuck and, like, show up in my FXR and have people be like, yeah, dude, that dude's a man. He helped me out, you know, when I was young, and you know.
Yo, so I don't know if you want to slide off of the jam yet, but yo, what's the deal? What are you doing in Laconia this year? Aren't you doing an FXR show, Laconia?
Yeah, cool. Thanks for mentioning that. Yes. Yeah, so we don't have enough on our plates here. Yeah, we're gonna do an FXR show in Laconia. Our buddy Brian Wigwag, he got us set up with the Broken Spoke, which is now High Octane.
Okay.
Yeah, he had the in up there, and really kind of put this thing rolling for us. Hardway Rich was a big help in getting us in touch with what's his name?
Whoever owns it now.
The bike shop up north.
KT Cycles?
No, not KT. Not KT. By the way, he's got a party coming up. It's gonna be pretty good.
I'm gonna be away.
All right.
But I know I'm just killing me to miss it.
Yeah, we're gonna hit it up. So, anyways, yeah, he got us Dan DeZorbo Motorsports.
Okay.
So he's running like it's kind of like his gig. So we decided, Dan was nice enough to let us come in and try to, I don't want to use the word take over, but handle the FXR show part of this. It's our first annual.
Is it going to be like similar to like the FXR show in Sturgis, where like it's around the bars and stuff, like in there?
So let me shout out Joe, Big Joe. Like, nobody does it like him, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's dope, dude. Like, to model a show after that is...
Yeah, he's got it going on. That Sturgis show is awesome.
Yeah.
You've been out there for that? Yeah, I have too.
I was there last year.
I was there a few years ago. But that's a great show. He puts on a great event out there. So what we're hoping for is, obviously, you know the jam and the way we feel about the jam. we want to have a show where we feel like guys can finally up here show up with something and get their bike judged properly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
is there gonna be different classes? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yes, but it's gonna be judged by FXR guys. So, you know, your homie's bike that got built at the shop that's judging the show ain't gonna win because he spent 30 G's at your shop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that happens. I'm not trying to
say it happens.
Listen, I'm not trying to piss on anybody's fucking Cheerios.
Dude, I've seen that coast to coast. I'll say it. It's my show. It's my words.
You can say
that
it.
shit happens, dude.
Yes.
I hate that shit.
So
everybody knows it happens.
You know, Joe's coming from the West Coast.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna definitely have Joe involved in some judging in the show.
Yeah.
You know, the guys who are running the show, myself, like, I'm not entering my own bike in the show, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's like, there's none of that hokey shit going on. So we're hoping to have like a good, clean show where somebody can really fucking feel like they won something that they can be proud of because it was judged by guys that ride, build, and actually give a fuck about FXRs.
Right.
You know? We see guys out there with FXRs getting best Dyna trophies.
Yeah.
It shows like there's none of that. I drew the logo myself. Rob had it digitized. He's got one of his boys printing the shirts. Like, we're gonna do some shirts for it. We're gonna have some local guys make some trophies. We've had a bunch of local guys interested in sponsoring. You know, we're hoping to do some like prizes as well for trophies. You know, maybe a dude wins a pair of fancy shocks or fucking something cool. Give a little incentive, you know. But I feel like we can really start to like hammer the promotion on this and really try to get a bunch of guys there because there's nothing like that in Laconia right now. And there hasn't been. There's never been as far as I know,
Laconia,
there's never been an FXR show in Laconia.
Not that I know of either.
No.
But dude, for years, you know this because like we're from up here in the Northeast. Like, dude, Laconia has been suffocating for years. It needs fresh breath blown into it.
Well, last year in Laconia was wild.
That's what I hear.
It was like the first year.
It was the first year it got kicked off.
I saw drone footage. Like every intersection in a fucking 10-mile radius was destroyed. Fucking black with donuts. And I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like the stunt shows, like personally, I respect it, but I feel like when you've seen a stunt show, you've seen all the stunt shows.
Pretty much.
But these dudes doing that shit out in the wild.
That's what I like.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, man. Joe.
That shit never gets old when it's on the street.
Joe D. Yeah. Like, that kid just fucking does burnouts for fucking 6 miles through Laconia. Like, he's a fucking maniac.
Yeah, dude, you see everyone, dude.
I love that.
Sea Bear's up there.
Oh,
like,
fuck, dude.
Fucking all
these
the
guys
big dogs are shredding.
Yeah, and it's great. So I feel like Laconia is starting to get on the right track. And these guys weren't getting arrested.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, Laconia got to a point where, like, you know, shout out to the girls, man. And I'm not, like, trying to disrespect any women here. But you know what I mean? Laconia was, like, bikes, beers, and tits.
Oh, yeah. It was a old school
and it
bike
got
event.
To a point where, like, girls were getting arrested for, like, lewd and lascivious, indecent exposure, for, like, pulling their tits out in Laconia, which, like, again, you can feel however you want about that, but, like, look at a fucking Easy Rider from 1970 whatever till 2000 whatever, and they went out of business. Like, every magazine was like Harley's, beer, and fucking tits, and maybe like some cocaine use.
Well,
like,
what guy doesn't want to see that?
Yes, but
you know,
so that's what I'm saying. And like, I have a ton. I have 2 daughters.
Right.
And my wife is, dude. My wife, I respect the fuck out of the females in my family. My mother raised me by herself. You know, like, I have a little sister. Dude, I am the epitome of respect for women. But
entertainment's entertainment, man.
Bike events are bike events.
Yeah.
So, if a girl feels like that's what she wants to do, she shouldn't have to go to jail for it.
Right.
Or get fined. So I get it. Like, if a bunch of dudes are harassing a chick to do that, like,
Different story.
Yeah, get after them.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
different story.
You know,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But if a girl's riding by on a motorcycle, she wants to ride with her shirt off, and a cop is dragging her off and sending her to prison. Like,
Right.
what are you doing?
It's crazy.
Yeah. So
and like when every other fucking bike event is still like you go to Daytona and that shit still goes on. How long could your bike event survive when that shit's not allowed? You know, like
I feel like we're trying to get on. We're just trying to. I say we.
the whole community.
We're just trying to fill a void.
Yeah.
I feel like in Laconia, and we're gonna try in this year. I feel like the people who support me and support this community are gonna make this show fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Even if it's slow, I don't even think it's gonna be slow the first year. I think it's gonna pop off. I mean,
I think so.
we get so many guys up here that are looking for something like that. You know, unfortunately, not even unfortunately, but it's on a Tuesday.
Right.
But most guys are up there for the week anyways, with the time off.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this Tuesday, and we're gonna be at the Spoke. I think it's gonna start at like 10 or 11 o'clock. And we're gonna rip all fucking day long there, and we're gonna have a blast. And we're gonna stay up there Tuesday night, and then we're gonna roll right into the Deadbeat show on Wednesday at the Hill Climb.
Yep.
Which I don't know if you were there last year.
Nope.
Chris was there last year. That show, I'd like to get to know, what's the dude who owns Deadbeat?
Steve?
Steve. Mm-hmm. Great fucking guy.
Yeah.
Kerry, who works for him. Mm-hmm. She saved our lives with those fucking roast beef sandwiches. Like, shout out to Kerry, man. She's fucking killer. But like, that show was fucking awesome last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Easy Code guys are involved with it this year too. I think.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing something
I think
there.
so. I think so.
Like, dude, between that and the 100th, like, this is a good year to
that
kick this
hill
FXR
climb,
thing off.
That hill climb was fucking insanity last year. There were
Yeah.
1 million people there.
Yeah.
Not literally 1 million, but like,
No, I heard it was crazy.
It was fucking crazy.
It's why I'm going to go to it this
Steve
year.
had only invited like a fucking handful of us to put our bikes in the show. I still am very honored that he asked me, and he asked me again this year,
Right.
to put my chopper guy's bike in there. You know, I should have won that show, but Dino was, anyways. This year is going to be fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's going to be the 100th year.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like, from being a local
I'm
up
local,
here
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course you are. We don't do Laconia up here, like,
No.
I mean,
It was
like, we
never
go up for like a
big
day
deal.
or two in the middle of the week, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we stay the fuck away from there on a weekend of bike week. It's just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, the traffic is, I mean, you'll spend an hour and a half trying to get into Laconia. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fucking crazy. And then you get down there and you're like,
Yeah. Dude, the running joke.
sick.
with-
I waited in traffic and almost blew my bike up for this.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, to just show you how, like, excited I am about this year is, like, the running joke with me and Amy for the last few years was, like, we're never going to Laconia again.
Shout out to Amy.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
No,
dude, and that's
we
where
were
I met.
kids.
That's where I met her too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
years ago, but like, yeah, we met in Laconia, and both of us, even that year, we're like, we're never coming here again. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, we are jacked up to go this year.
It's
like,
gonna be awesome.
It's gonna fucking rock,
Yeah.
dude. I got friends coming from the Midwest. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's gonna fucking rock this year.
We get a lot of guys coming up. A lot of guys coming for the show.
Yep. Yep. It's gonna kick ass, man.
Yeah, we got a bunch of my boys from Detroit, the Saviors crew.
Oh, the Clem Speed guys coming?
Yeah. I don't know. You know, Brian's got the FXR tour build right now.
Oh, he's in that?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
He
okay.
is. In my opinion,
It's gonna crush it.
yeah,
Dude,
you know,
it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Those guys are bringing a lot of heat to the
Yeah,
table.
yeah.
A lot of
I
those
mean,
builders,
dude,
you know.
Brian's bike is going to be, I mean, it's a fucking salt flat bike he's building that he's going to ride halfway across the country. It was like a
Really?
200 horsepower build or something. Yeah. I mean, shout out to Clem's.
Yeah.
Dude, talk just like one of the best guys you'd ever want to know, but like one of the best shops.
Yeah.
I mean, his shit is so fucking dialed.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, I mean, you've seen his fucking, his white FXR that's now the
And those
black
guys,
flamed FXR, the twin cam.
They fucking ride here to the East Coast every year.
Every year.
No problems.
Yeah,
those guys rage
dude, those
every
guys
year.
do not fuck around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe and fucking Big Dave. Oh
Dude,
my
I'll
God.
say this, though. I know what bare knuckles bringing. Horsepower, dude. There's going to be a lot of big horsepower.
Listen,
there.
I don't know if anybody's going to fuck with Brian on horsepower.
Dude.
Yo,
Well, dude, you know
Brian builds those like
FXR division
106s.
guys are bringing an M8.
Yeah,
like
well,
200 plus horsepower.
Yeah, I'm telling you what.
There's going to be a lot of big horsepower there.
Brian
There is, dude.
Brian builds a wild motor.
Yeah.
And
I'm not trying to like shit
I know
on. I'm
you're
just
not.
saying
No,
there's
I know
a
you're
lot
not.
of big
Yeah.
horsepower
Yeah.
gonna be there, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a dick
can't
swinging
wait.
contest of horsepower this year.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
you know, I
me
can't
too.
wait to see it. And I'm very proud that one of my close friends is in it. You know?
Which one?
Brian.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I'm
gonna name
just
someone else.
I think that a guy like him who's been putting in the work
Yeah.
deserves an opportunity like this.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't out there, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
He definitely has a good reputation and a name, but like
Yeah.
he's not as popular.
yeah, he doesn't have the big name.
No.
But in fairness to Brian,
I think he's happy where he is.
yeah, I don't think he wants
yeah.
a big name. I mean, that dude's got life dialed in. I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's like Joe said in his podcast. I mean, we all feel the same way about Brian. He's got a beautiful kids and a beautiful wife and a beautiful shop.
Yep.
I was out in Detroit the end of last fall, you know, and I mean, I consider Brian like my family anyways, but I mean, he treats me like, he put me on his FXR. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, I couldn't be happier to be, you know, a part of that whole crew. You know, I feel like I made my way home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Those guys
yeah.
are like, you know, the brothers I never had, you know, and a
There's
lot of
just
good FXR
exciting-
guys.
A lot of exciting builds though in that,
Yeah,
in that whole thing,
man,
man.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think I'll just,
Yeah,
it
there
is
is,
what it
man.
is, you know, but I don't know, we'll see what guys do, you know. I'm curious to see how it works out.
Yeah.
I know how it's going to work out either way for Brian, you know what I mean? I think that bike's going to be fucking sick. And,
Yeah.
you know, but then again,
I can't wait to see all the finished products, man. It's gonna be
savage. You
fucking
hear that
sick.
guy right by on that bike right now?
What's that?
You hear that bike go by?
Yeah.
Sicko.
Yeah. I don't want to be out there.
Pouring, torrential.
Yeah.
It's like 40
And
degrees
it's-
out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. But oh yeah, dude, shout out to FXR Bazaar too. Community. With that Instagram page, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
I like Nick.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even. No. Dude, no.
That was the most autistic answer ever.
I've known Nick for a long time.
Yeah.
I talk to Nick a lot.
Are you a Shovelhead hater? He's building a Shovelhead.
I hate shovelheads.
Okay.
I have no interest.
Okay.
So, I hate chains on bikes.
Okay. Really?
Dude,
None of your bikes have chains? I never
yeah, this
realized
bike
that.
has a chain.
Okay.
I'll pull it off
gonna be a belt,
eventually.
though.
So, I won't even get into it. But yeah, like back in the day before we could afford bikes with belts, we had chains.
Right.
And then I felt like I made it when I got a bike with a belt, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable. No maintenance, fucking, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I like Nick. I appreciate Nick. You know, Nick did a lot with that page.
Yeah.
Nick's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot to deal with that page.
Oh, I couldn't do it. Fuck that.
You know,
Fuck that.
let me just say I'm not.
could never.
I don't mean to sound. I'm not trying to sound.
Oh, that page has got to be a nightmare to run.
I'm not trying to be coy here, and there's no like underlying meaning. I'm not meaning to be like caught off guard or trying to fucking be like, oh yeah, Nick sucks. Like I don't mean that. I know because it was like I answered that question weird. There's just a lot going on with that page right now, and I feel like I'm not trying to like call
Like
anybody out.
Maybe it's because of the build. I don't know, man.
No,
I don't notice any
there's
of it.
like,
I just think it's like business as usual, but I don't.
Yeah,
know.
but
I don't know the behind the scenes.
people are like, I feel like sometimes people try to monetize stuff.
Is he charging now?
Yeah, he charges
I didn't know that.
for a post, a percentage.
Okay. I did
Again,
not
this
know
goes
that.
back to like not trying to hate on anybody for making money. I'm sure Nick will never even listen to this podcast. That's fine.
He will listen.
I just, I've had some good friends post some stuff on there and had been asked to like pay a certain amount of stuff to post something. And it's like, I know it's work and I know he has a job and I know, he has an important job.
Yeah.
Nick's a firefighter.
Yeah.
And mad respect to that. The guy saves lives and I appreciate that. Can I say cunt? I'm
You can say anything
I'm
you
just
want.
like,
Yeah.
I'm a cunt when it comes to stuff like that. I don't think people should be charging anybody anything. You know what I mean? If somebody asked me to post their shit on my page, I would just do it.
Yeah.
But Nick's on a different level. He's got fucking 50,000 people on that page. I'm sure he gets a gazillion things a day.
I think
but
it gets to
I've
a
had
point
some.
where you have to charge.
I get it, but I've had some close personal friends that have like asked to charge shit, and it was like, yeah, I'll post your bike, but like give me $250 to post it or something because it's like a percentage of like whatever you're asking.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't matter what my opinion is.
Right,
So that's why I'm saying Nick's a good guy, and I don't mean I'm not like trying to fucking throw shade at him.
Right,
I'm just saying personally, I don't dig that.
Right.
I own every fucking shirt Nick's ever made.
Right.
Because Nick's my friend and I support Nick. Even if I don't wear the stuff. And I'm not saying I don't wear it because of any specific reason. I bought his sunglasses. I have his fucking hoodies. I have his shirts. Nick's a friend of mine and I enjoy supporting him because that's what I do. I try to support my friends. So, I think I get a little butthurt sometimes when I feel like it's not reciprocated. But they're just because they're my friends.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But that's cool. I'm sure that page is ridiculously overwhelming, and it definitely got. And he definitely took the reins on the West Coast Jam. That was John Jessup's idea to bring that to the West Coast. Nick took the reins on it, and he did a great job. And, the West Coast Jam is thriving, and he should be proud of that. And I'm proud of him for doing that, And that's what I got to say, about that.
Okay.
All
right. I didn't even know he was charging.
Maybe we shouldn't make a big deal about that.
I don't know. I'm going to find out because
there's nothing to find out. That's what it is.
Oh, I meant like how much.
It's like a fee. It's like a percentage of what you're asking, which I think is what I don't agree with. I think saying
You'd
like
rather have flat rate.
Yeah, like, hey man, like
a post is a post is
give
a
me
post.
$5 to post your shit.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Because whether you're posting a bike or a fucking derby cover, it's the
What's
same
the difference?
work. Right.
Yeah, it takes you 10 seconds to type it.
I get it.
And you're not even typing it.
It's
You're
the
just
same copy
reposting
and paste.
it. Yeah, so why are you saying like, oh, you're selling a bike for 25 racks? Give me fucking $500.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why do you deserve $500? Because you have the followers?
Right.
Well then, I'll just post it on my own page, man. I'll just keep it to myself.
Right.
Sorry, but why?
This looks like a conspiracy theory now that I didn't post that engine on his page.
Yeah.
I did it because I didn't want to ship the engine. I'm trying to sell it locally.
Yeah, I told you. If fucking Perez doesn't buy it, do you have it with you?
No, I wanted to
I was just going to say, just bring it in. I'll take it.
I didn't want to load it and then have to bring it home.
Yeah, just stack it up with all the other fucking engines I got. What's the difference? We use it in something.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You want to sell your bike while you're at it?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Take a fucking Greyhound home.
Yeah. I'll take you, buy your fucking car too.
Take the car, take it all.
Yeah. No, but so again, just to clarify, I think Nick's a really good dude, and personally, like I talked to Nick on the phone.
Yeah, dude,
I like Nick as a person.
Rate. I didn't know any of this, but yeah, I agree, man. I think it should just be a flat rate, but I don't, at the end of the day, dude, it's not our page. It's really not even our business, technically.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and I'm not mad at him, whatever the fuck he decides.
No.
I love the guy, but
that's what I mean. My opinion doesn't mean fucking anything.
I think a flat rate would be the way to go. But like you said, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? I get it all now. Now I get it all now.
Yeah.
In the beginning of this conversation, I'm like, what the fuck do I not know here?
Yeah.
Now I know what I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm like,
now I get it. I get it.
But like I told you in the beginning, I don't.
But
like,
no, but we're not trying to
step. Like I don't want to step on anybody's dick here.
Right.
That's not my intention. And the last thing you want to come across is like people be like, "Oh, you fucking hater."
Right.
You know, you're hating on this guy for making money. Like,
I don't think you're hating. I don't hate on you. I see the situation.
Yeah.
I get it now. I get it.
I don't hate on you for making money.
Right.
I hate on you for making money off of us.
Gotcha.
And us, I mean, as a community.
The community.
Yeah. If you said like, "Oh, Chris, can you fucking call so-and-so and fucking ask him if he wants to buy this," I would be like, "Yo, throw me 20 for fucking making a phone call."
Right.
You'd be like,
I'd be like,
you
dude,
douche.
Then forget it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
I'd be like, then fucking forget it.
Yeah. You can't just do me this solid.
Right.
You know? And for the record,
that page is beyond that.
Nick's posted stuff for me.
Right.
Nick's never charged me.
Right.
And I'm not saying, I don't know if he was doing that then or if he was just doing me a solid.
Right.
You know, and Nick's asked me.
I'm like jogging my memory now too. Like,
and he's been like, "Hey man, do you want me to repost this?" So he's always done me right.
Right.
He's always done good by me. For the record, he's never ever done anything for me to not like the dude.
Right.
You know, there were a lot of mixed feelings about the book. You know. He shouted
the book.
He shouted me out in the book. He shouted Joe out in the book.
Yeah.
You know, me and Joe, I don't want to speak for Joe. But, you know, it's like sometimes maybe we get a little sour about, you know, when dudes would be getting credit for shit who have been doing shit for like a quarter of the time.
Dude,
you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
That's the story of how I feel about the entire motorcycle industry.
Yeah. And you're just like,
oh, dude, social media has fucking exacerbated that. I'm like, this fucking bitch has been riding a motorcycle for 2 fucking years.
Yes.
Yes. Don't even get me started on that shit, dude.
So
across the whole industry, that drives me fucking nuts.
That's what.
Holy fuck, dude.
That's what getting guys going, and you have to like just stop yourself and say like, "Listen, man."
Yeah.
It is what it is.
You got to try to not take the shit personal.
Yeah. And it's tough because, like, here we go. I'm gonna sound like a hater. Like, you got guys like posting shit, and they've had like 2 FXRs, and they're like, "Yo, you're the FXR king, dog." You know, you're like your shit, and you're like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's not about that, because in real life, that shit doesn't matter.
Right.
Instagram doesn't matter. If the fucking internet crashed tomorrow, I could still call you on the phone and fucking hang out with you. I could still hang out with Chris. I could still hang out with Joe. Like, so these guys are my friends that, you know, like my wife would always bust our balls like back in the day, like, "Oh, you're gonna go hang out with your internet friends?"
Right,
you know?
right.
But like, that's how we are where we are now. I wouldn't fucking know you. Well, maybe because of Amy, but like, I wouldn't know you if it wasn't for the fucking internet. You know what I mean? We're doing this shit so we can put it on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
So people can
it brings
hear
everyone together.
Yeah,
nowadays.
like maybe they give a fuck what we have to say, maybe they don't give a fuck. Maybe they listen to it just because they fucking hate my guts or they hate your guts. Right, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, "Fuck these guys. They suck," you know? This is exactly what I expected these idiots to say.
I'm sure there's going to be some hurt feelings after this one.
Yeah, and I'm not.
But I don't think we're really, like, dude, the bottom line is, we all don't have to fucking agree with each other.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we can still be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a problem with this fucking world today, is people's feelings get way too fucking hurt way too easily. People fucking forget that, like, you could fucking talk about your differences, tell each other to go fuck yourselves, and at least be cool at the end of the day. Like, similar to, like, fighting back in the day. Like, dude, just because I punch you in your fucking face don't mean we can't be friends in a month, you know? It's just, like, fucking is what it is,
dude.
It
shouldn't even be a month.
Right, you know, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, we
like,
always used to say, man, like, I mean, do we have to box right now, or do we have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, fuck, fight, or wrestle, pick one, you know? Whatever we're going to have to do. And I feel like you have to adapt, and especially when you have kids, Like, you just have to adapt. You know, my daughter's always saying like, oh, so-and-so at school, you know, said I was stupid or said whatever, you know, and I want to be like, kick him in his fucking nuts and tell him to shut the fuck up. You know?
Right.
But you can't. And you could say, like, you could stick to that old dinosaur thinking and be like, but back in my day, I would have punched him in the face.
Right.
Well, but it ain't back in your day anymore.
Right.
So, like, you have to, like, get with the times. You got to fucking adapt, overcome, and try to fit in. And I know that's like a very anti-biker thing to say, try to fit in. You know, we carve our own fucking niche and, you know, we do whatever we want to do. But it ain't like that anymore.
Right.
You know? So I feel like that applies to this community. And if you don't get more inclusive and you don't try to spread the love and spread the word of the FXR, man, you're going to lose all of this.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. I'll call it evolve, dude. If you don't evolve and adapt, like, you're just going to price yourself out of the game.
Yeah, you're going to stay a tadpole forever in a little pond.
Yeah.
You're never going to become a frog and fucking leap out of there.
You're never going to become a butterfly, Chris.
Yeah. I'm probably not for me, you know?
Yeah, no, it's true though, man. If you don't fucking get with it to a certain degree, like, you are going to, you know, you're just going to fucking lose out.
It's, I don't know, man. It's wild. It's wild out there. It's wild.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to this summer. I'm like, you know, we're starving to get out. We got out today. We went to
La
Spada. Yeah, the chopper show.
Yep.
So you get a bunch of local guys around us up here in Haverhill. Those guys are fucking killing it, man. They're great dudes. They throw a great party.
Always the best parties.
Yeah, and I'm always pumped to go support their shit, and you know, I really hope they keep doing what they're doing, and it's a great time. We got there were a lot of FXRs there today. You're talking, we would go from 0 FXRs to like 5 or 6. I'm say 5 or 6, like, it's a lot. I mean, it's a fucking chopper show.
Yeah.
You know? They were like 5 or 6.
Dude, they were hard FXRs there.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
there was no slouchy FXRs there.
Hey, man.
I know you're a Shovelhead hater, but that one dude that runs with that crew, that's a gangster fuck. I'm not personally, also, for the record, I am not a fan of fucking Shovelheads in FXRs. I am not. I'm not, dude. An FXR is a fucking performance motorcycle.
You're preaching to the choir, man. I've never owned a Shovelhead FXR, and I never will.
I haven't either, and I never will. Well, I can't say I never will, but I never will.
Listen,
you know?
there was I'm
not a fan.
It was cool. There was a Shovelhead
FXR. I love
FXR.
Shovelheads. I just don't like Shovelhead FXRs.
There was a Shovelhead FXR there today with some crazy ass airbrush. Did you see that?
Oh no, I'm talking about the green one.
Well, that was there, and the other one with the had some like crazy airbrush graphics on it.
I missed that one.
Yeah, and there were a whole bunch of dudes. It was cool. It was cool. Hey, that green bike.
Yeah, that's
I
what
was
I'm
fucking pumped on it, and then I saw it at a Shovelhead, and I was like,
that's the only bad part about that bike.
That bike was
otherwise
fucking tight.
It's fucking tough.
It had a center
fill.
It was green. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love green.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. You know, there were a bunch of dudes there. There were a bunch of cool bikes there, you know? I mean, fucking trip on this, man. Scott was there on that.
I was going to say that, dude.
Scott was there on his fucking RT.
Yep.
You know? He's a fucking great dude. He's a guy who I won't say but, you know, he was on a bagger. Mm-hmm. You know, local dude. And he just kind of got into FXRs and went full steam ahead, you know? Came to the Jam last year for the fucking first time and was like, man, what the fuck? You know, this is wild.
Yeah.
You know, I talk to Scott on the phone every day, man. Scott's one of my close friends around here. And, you know, I'm pumped to have him on board, you know? And he's taking this game real seriously. You know, he's buying bikes like fucking crazy and building bikes. And, you know, even though fucking Mel got a soft tail, you know, that's what she wanted. She had the FXR for a hot minute, you know. But like the same thing, you know, he's including everybody, and you know, it's part of this like community we're building around here.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. We go out once a month, right? Well, we try to go out once a month. We get we mostly end up at Kowloon.
Where?
Kowloon.
Where the fuck is that?
What? I might have to fucking fight right now. Kowloon is like one of the baddest Chinese food joints on the fucking East Coast.
Never been to a Chinese food.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if
it's got a little tiki bar. It's right on Route 1.
I wonder if it's the place Brandon took me to.
Brandon.
Bad Fish Custom?
Fuck yeah, man. But talk about
Maybe
a great guy.
Yeah.
Brandon's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a man. He's built some bad shit.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I love Brandon.
Yeah, he's definitely a tight friend. But maybe that's the place I don't know if he took me there. I don't know.
It's big.
Okay.
Yeah.
If not, maybe
we
you guys
go
gotta
there.
take me.
Yeah.
It's like Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't that.
Yeah,
No.
we go there with Richie and Chris and
Okay.
Chris Connolly.
I got to experience this
Oh,
place.
dude, Chris is gonna be so mad. Hey, I didn't mean anything against Shovelhead FXR.
One
bro.
last person.
No,
we gotta
he's
piss off.
he's got the bad dude. He's got a bad Shovelhead FXR. No, I swear to God, Chris, I didn't mean it, dude. Dude, his shit is so it's tight. It's dialed in. This dude, he fucking destroys
is it? Do I
zombie.
know
You know what a zombie is?
Like a fucking
The drink?
zombie
No,
apocalypse?
the drink. A zombie.
Oh, I want to say I know.
It's
but
like a Mai Tai, but it's anyways.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know what's in it.
Our
Anyways.
boy he's on. They have like a most wanted poster, like don't serve this guy any more than 10 zombies. Yeah, every week we go. We got Rob, world class dirtbag, and fucking Hardway Rich, and Chris, and Brian. Fucking man, we try to go out once a month. It's just all us like local FXR guys, and we go out and we shoot the shit about what we're doing and these shows and yeah, man, we're just really trying to build this community up here, and for years and years we didn't do that.
Yeah.
And just fucking great guys, great stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah.
For everything that's coming.
Yeah, and dude, I'll say this too, for the record also.
Yeah.
Just like everything, all my opinions, or like most of what we've said on this show, the Shovelhead FXR thing is a good example. I don't give a fuck if you build a Shovelhead FXR.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yes.
I just think it's
correct.
silly to put that in a performance bike.
Yes.
But if I see, like if you roll up, like that green bike, dude, I tripped out on that bike last winter when I went to their party at the Speed Boys shop.
Yep.
Like, and we were all hanging out in their shop. Like, dude, I was tripping out on that bike. I just look at it as like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I fucking wouldn't build a Shovelhead FXR.
Right.
But I dig it, dude. I think they're cool.
Yeah.
They're just not for me, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, I'm just like,
doubt.
dude, if I'm building an FXR, that motherfucker's gonna be bad to the bone.
Yeah.
And that's gonna require an Evo, a twin cam, or an M8.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, not a shovel.
Dude, Shovelheads are for choppers.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. But
I know.
dude, there's gonna be a lot of hurt feelings. But
I know.
it is what it is, dude. I'm still not hating on you. Like I still love those bikes, but they're just not for me.
Really nice bikes.
Like they're just not for me, dude.
Yeah. So again, I'm the same way with it.
It's
I believe that the FXR.
Like, don't get butthurt over it. Like,
I believe
have
that
fun with your bike.
The
I don't give a
FXR is a
fuck.
performance platform.
Right. And I think it deserves a performance engine.
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, like
Of course.
it is what it is. The Evo and the twin cam is far superior to a Shovelhead. Even if they're all making 100 horsepower, the Shovelhead's going to be the least reliable of all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you can make a rockin' 98-inch Shovelhead, but dude, it's like a ticking time bomb.
Well, it's a bag of hammers.
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's not smooth. It's like, I just don't think it's a good choice for an FXR.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it's like, they look cool. I mean, they're cool. I think Yaniv at Power Plant, that Springer, like a Springer is another thing I would not put on an FXR.
Yo.
But that bike is fucking gangster. I would never do it though. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah, bike was cool.
I don't know,
That
man.
bike-
Like, am I hurting the guy's feelings? Like,
I don't think his
it's
feelings are getting
sick.
hurt.
Like, I think it's a sick bike. I just would never put a Springer on an FXR. Who gives a fuck what I think, though?
I'm gonna be honest. I thought that bike was fucking goofy as hell.
It was goofy, but I like silly. I like crazy choppers too.
But they make awesome. I mean, I run a Power Plant gas cap on fucking every bike
Your red bike's got his brake pedal,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, you run his parts, you know.
Yeah, I have a ton of respect for him,
But like,
I just
it's just not for me. That's all. It is what it is.
springers on FXRs are fucking
It's crazy.
lame.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is what it is.
It's fucking dumb, man. A Springer is a fucking chopper part.
I believe there's a shovelhead in that bike too. I think there's a shovelhead in that bike.
That bike is very unique, and I respect the shit out of the artistry and the time and effort that guy put into that bike.
Sick bike. It's just not what an FXR is all about.
Just like I saw like I see the Springer and I'm like, oh my god. Like there's a couple guys right now building bikes with Springers on them.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, man? Like, buy a Softail.
Yeah.
You know? That's what Springer Softails, man. There you go, you know?
Yep.
I get it. Like, you're trying to be different. Like, cool, you know? And if that's what floats your fucking boat,
right,
at the end of the day, do
like,
it.
fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, cool.
Like, dude, not for nothing. I'm going to be cutting up 2 FXRs, and I'm sure people are going to hate them.
Blasphemous.
I'm sure
that
people are going to fucking criticize me just as much.
Yeah.
It's like, who gives a fuck, dude?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, I don't think that we should be hating on each other, per se. I think we should, like, be more united than
no
anything.
doubt.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we could still hang out in the parking lot and
of course.
and check the bikes out. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, one of the things I hate about today's world is people get their fucking feelings hurt way too easily with just like 5 fucking words.
Everybody does.
And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, just cool your fucking ass for a minute. You know? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't fuck. It is what it is. I don't know, man. You want to fucking end this thing?
Give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
Let me take a piss and get rid of these.
Okay.
I got a couple more things.
We got to piss a few more people.
Dude, the white cars go through me.
Yeah. I'm going to piss too, actually.
Yeah. All right, might as well hit that pause button or some shit, right?
I just edit it out. I just take that chunk out.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Oh, you want to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Or whatever you had planned there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really have anything planned. I just figured.
Fuck it. We're back.
We're back. Pee breaks, leg stretching.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Fuck Shovelheads.
Yeah.
Fuck zombies.
Yeah, I think.
May as well just say fuck Ironheads too. Everyone knows I hate those fucking things.
I mean, who likes Sportsters?
Oh, dude. I can't.
Come
with
on, I had to.
I can't with the Ironhead guys.
Yeah.
I can't, dude.
Also, bags of hammers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know, anybody. I did like make a little mental list of guys I wanted to shout out. You know, mainly I wanted to shout out my family for dealing with me and loving me through fucking everything, and you know, all my friends for fucking supporting me. You know, you for wanting to do this podcast with me. You know, I appreciate it, and
I wish you made a list.
yeah, I just kind of went with everything on my mind. If I missed you, man, I love you, and you know who you are, and you know you guys are always on my mind, and I'm always thinking of, you know, the dudes that we ride with, and the guys who make this fucking great. Think of anybody I fucking totally whiffed on? No.
My favorite part of Joey Kidd on podcasts is when he busts that list out.
Oh yeah,
It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yo, Joe's the fucking man, you know. Like I said, I know we've talked about Joe a bunch, you know, but Joe, you know, was also very influential. You know, I know I've been doing this a long time, but Joe, you know, he's got a big personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's got a lot going on, and he's always been a big supporter of me. You know, no matter what we had going on. I don't know if there's many guys on this fucking planet that I put down more miles next to than Joe, you know?
Dude, he's about it.
Yeah, he's like the last of a dying breed. I don't even want to say a dying breed because I think that breed's dead.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's just Joe.
Right.
It's just Joe doing it, you know?
Yeah, dude.
And it's admirable, you know? He catches, you know, I would say he used to catch a lot of shit, but it was never nothing anybody would say to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because again,
yeah,
you know, Joe's Joe.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, shout out to all.
I don't think anyone's saying anything to his face.
No, fuck no.
None of that internet
You ever seen the
bullshit.
size of his hands? It's like a fucking bear claw. Yeah. But yeah, man, you know, come on out. Make sure you come to the East Coast Jam. You know.
Oh, dude, I do want to ask you. I don't know if I kind of asked this in a roundabout way, but I want to ask this to the FXR guys that I have on. I asked Sal this question, and I want to ask
Shout
you.
out to Sal. Sal's the fucking
Sal's
man.
my fucking dude, man.
Sal brought up a pair of
my
RC
fucking
comp
dude.
fucking wheels for me up to Connecticut and did me a solid and gave me a good solid deal on them.
Up at Stafford.
Yeah, up at Stafford. And Sal's at the Jam every year. Sal's
He's the fucking man,
He's a
dude.
fucking FXR guy through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with that dude.
But I got to ask you that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you, like, because there's FXR guys now that like have I'll have a few more on if their feelings aren't hurt after this one. But, perfect FXR setup for you, like drivetrain. I mean, like what's your setup? Perfect fucking setup.
Perfect setup?
Yeah, dream scenario.
Oh, drivetrain?
Dream bike drivetrain. Like the main gist of that question is like twin cam or Evo.
Evo.
5-speed or 6-speed.
5-speed.
Okay. Evo 5-speed bike.
Yep.
That's the jam.
Yep.
Okay.
Branch heads. EV46. 42 Makuni. Thunder header.
Yeah.
On
Gotta
fucking
have a Thunder.
everything. If you own an FXR and you don't have a Thunder header on your bike, you're just fucking up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what it is, man. You got it. Yeah, dude. Every
Yeah.
fucking bike in here.
I do know
Come
what
on.
breaks my heart about Thunder. And this is another question I wanted to
Hey,
ask
don't.
you.
Yeah, don't. Easy
I don't
on
know if
Thunder
I
headers.
should ask this. I was gonna ask this off air, but dude, do you buy your Thunder headers new anymore, or do you still try and
I buy
find
them
used
all.
ones?
I buy them all new.
All new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just clapped. You try to buy a used Thunder header is like buying a used condom.
Yeah.
You know. Like it's just been used, it's been filled up, it's been thrown away, you know.
Yeah.
Like you buy them, you're like, oh, minor fucking scrape on the bottom. The thing's been laid down. It's got a crushed pipe. It's got 4 welds on it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Is that a fucking dog?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? I bet you it's a coyote.
Yeah. Right.
That would be fuck. Look, Chris moves away from the door. He's like, he moves away from the door like he's gonna open the fucking knob and come in and eat us.
Like the hills have
Yeah.
eyes are about to
Yeah.
come in here.
Yo, here. Yeah, you got a knife on you? You want mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get. Yeah, throw it at him.
Yeah.
That was fucked up. So, yeah, 42 Makuni, Thunder header. You know, I say branch heads because that's always what you know you wanted. But yeah, ported and polished heads. Yeah, 5-speed, 70-tooth pulley. Fuck, man, 4,200 RPM at like fucking 80 miles an hour. But you're always in the fucking power band.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're just right there, man. Every time you want to fucking pass a car, crack! You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
You know? That's what this RP is right there. It's like oh man, it's always there. Always feeling it.
Yeah.
I mean, but then like, yeah, you get that chopper guy's bike with that 103 and that 6-speed and doing like 120 miles an hour, smooth as fucking ice. You're like, man, this is nice too.
Fucking sick.
But being an FXR guy, yeah, man, nothing beats, you know, even an EV27, you know?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, fucking in a Makuni and a Thunder header, fuck, that's a nice setup.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat. You know?
Very hard to beat.
Stock pulley.
You know that bike will just last till the end of time.
Yeah, yeah.
10-to-1s, an
Yeah.
EV3 or 27.
Yes.
Yeah, with a Thunder header and a 42 Makuni, it's like,
Yeah.
it's not the craziest setup, but like, damn, that's hard to beat, man.
And
It'll
it's the-
start every time. It'll run anywhere.
Sounding,
Oh yeah,
toughest sounding drivetrain setup there is.
ever. Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can't beat
Yeah, the
it.
crack of a Thunder header on
Yeah.
a fucking
eight and
good
a half,
Evo.
8.5 inch straight risers, high bend bars.
My short ass does need the pullbacks.
Yeah.
I'm an 8.5
You
pullback
gotta run.
guy.
Yeah, you gotta run the pullbacks and the fairings. Belt, no chain.
Yep.
Dual disc for the win.
Yep.
You know, PM calipers. Like that's how I set everything
All
up.
the classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some good shit. There's some like good innovations being made now.
There's so much good stuff out now.
Yeah.
That was not here 10 years
and it's
ago.
awesome, man. It's
so much good stuff.
It's crazy that like FXR division, fuck,
Yep.
man, you can go on their website.
Dude, they're still my biggest episode, like listener-wise.
Yeah.
By a fucking long shot.
Yeah, Big Chris, he's the man. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got fucking everything. Like where else?
You need kickstand shit? You got it.
Yeah.
Everything.
You need fucking rubbers for your fucking gauge pod. Like, just everything, man.
Put it all in one spot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love the availability. And they're not hitting people over their head either.
No.
You know what I mean? Good prices on good stuff.
Yeah.
You know? No, I'm not sponsored or nothing. I'm just.
I know. I'm not either. But
Yeah, I'm just shouting them out, man.
They're good dudes.
Yeah, and they build awesome shit.
Their build is one
Awesome
of the builds
shit.
I'm very excited to see for this. What is it called? The FXR Throwdown or Showdown or Build Off?
FXR Tour.
Tour? Okay. I thought it had
Yeah.
some other weird name. Anyways, yeah, dude, you want to tell people where to reach you or whatever?
Yeah, at Suicide King Chris on Instagram. If you're on Facebook and you're looking to get on a fucking real page with some real info and no bullshit, send me a message. You know, Chris Hery. I'll get you out there, get you in that FXR's of California page is ultra private. You know, you search it, it won't come up. So, but I'll get you guys on there. Like I said, we got the heads of a lot of major companies on there. FXR guys through and through, you know, a lot of OGs from way back when. If he gets eaten, that'd be wild.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Imagine he came back in here just all clawed up and
Yeah,
shit.
that thing was hanging off of him, whatever the fuck that was. We're out in the woods, just for everybody wants to know. This garage is in a very secret location out in the middle of nowhere, so.
That's it.
Yeah, get at me. Get at me on Instagram. You know, I appreciate everybody on there, man. I try to answer you guys. I appreciate all the follows. I appreciate, you know I keep saying I appreciate, man. I really do. I appreciate the fuck out of everybody. All my friends, you know, all the dudes who help do this, all the guys who fucking podcast and ride FXRs. Shout out to Rob. You know, this is real for us, you know. We love it.
Fucking about it, dude.
Yeah, we try to stay about it. We still try to be good people and good family fucking people, and you know, like I said, you guys need anything, hit me up, man. I'll try to help you out the best I can. But come on out to the East Coast Jam,
dude.
Come
East
on
Coast Jam and Laconia.
Yeah, come on
Hit
to the
those.
Laconia show, man. Drink some beers, you know, win some fucking trophies. Let's see your FXRs, man. Bring what you got, you know.
Yeah, dude. Let's get some dope fucking bikes out there.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Yeah, I do want to see some special shit at Laconia.
Yeah, we will.
I got an idea too. It's not going to help this year, but it's going to hype for next year. I got an idea we'll talk about after I stop recording here.
Sounds great.
But yeah, it'd be dope, dude.
Yeah.
We'll fucking hype that shit up.
Perfect.
Yeah, dude, that's cool, man. We don't need to keep beating a dead horse here.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, dude.
Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it too, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate the whole tour of both compounds.
Yeah.
Fucking rad, man.
Yeah, we got some stuff going on.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna see each other in a few weeks. All these things that are coming up in like
Yeah,
just a few weeks.
summertime, man. We
Yeah.
can't wait. Us East Coast guys got like 3 weeks of riding, and then
Dude, it's a narrow
Winter
window,
time
and
again.
like this fucking month of April was shit.
Shit.
Like we just
Shit.
lost a month.
It was like 100 degrees out like 3 weeks ago, and now
Gone.
Yeah, gone. Rain in fucking 40s.
Yeah,
We're bumming out.
that's it, man. But
Right on.
yeah. Anyways, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Later,
man.
dude.
Later. Thanks.
Northeast V Twin.
Yeah.
Buy some parts. Hell yeah, dude.